Amplified unit! Saturday morning review, baby. We're feeling good, we feeling alright. It's gonna take me a while still to get accustomed to these reviews on Saturday morning, but I'm liking it. And even though I just had an altercation at the local Starbucks not too long ago, I'm still feeling really good. In fact, it's my show, I might as well tell you the story. And if you're my veteran subscribers, you probably know where this is going because I've had many incidents like this. Because I am a big believer in people obeying the 3 feet rule. So what am I talking about? So I'm in a long line at Starbucks this morning. Not uncommon for a Saturday morning at Starbucks in the city, but this line was filled with a bunch of schmucks and dipshits. Alright, I'm gonna try to be on my best behavior as the amplified man. I'm just gonna try to get my coffee and be out and everybody lives, right? That's the hope. So I'm in this line, everybody is ass to ass, bumper to bumper, right? When you have lines, you're always gonna be kind of close together because dipshits are trying to get the farthest point possible in the shortest amount of time. So they feel if they're up on your ass, the line is gonna move faster. It's not, but in their mind, hey, if I'm putting the pressure on this person, they'll put the pressure on the next person, and that'll just fucking accordion the line faster. No, it's schmuckery, but we all fucking do it because, if not, you're gonna be getting into an altercation with every schmuck in line. Every store that you go into. So I'm in this fucking line for 20 minutes as it is. Now, I finally reached the register. Now, once you get to the cashier, once you're in that register space, everybody behind you, meaning the very first person has to do this. But everybody behind it, everybody has to follow this rule once you get to the cashier in the register. Starting with who I will call bitch boy Braden. He looks like a Braden, right? These days, these fucking nerds have all these stupid names like Ethan and Braden. We'll call him bitch boy Braden. I turn around as I'm at the cashier. Bitch boy Braden is still hovering me right on my ass as if we're still in the regular line. Now I'm about to pay. Once you get to the register, you're no longer part of the regular line. You are now at the top. Harry, I've reached the top. Remember that Home Alone? So I'm there. This is my space now. Let me do my business transaction. Let me pay with my card. And you give me 3 feet. You have to implement the 3 feet rule. Bitch boy Braden is still on my ass. And he's setting the tone for everyone else now, who now feels, hey, I don't have to implement the 3 feet rule. It's super crowded, and I guess we're just gonna accordion each other out the door. So I turn and I look at bitch boy Braden. I'm telling you guys, this isn't over-exaggerating or being over-dramatic. There's technology in this world where somebody can have this little machine in their pocket, walk by you, and take your credit information. This is a true story. That's why I want the 3 feet rule. Give me that respect. I deserve that respect. You deserve that respect. People should obey your space when you're about to make a business transaction. Maybe that's old school Italian for me, but that's how I was brought up and raised, and that's how everybody should be implementing that rule, respectfully. So I turn, and bitch boy Braden is literally like right here. When I say hovering, I mean we're about to know what we just had fucking waking up for breakfast. He is there. He's about to he is in my space. So I said, you mind giving me some room, boss? And he says, in his little Braden voice, you have plenty of room. And at this point, I know this is going to escalate because I've seen these bitch boys before. They feel like they're immune to giving people respect. They feel like as long as I'm in proximity to call a police officer, I can do whatever I want. They'll protect me until I feel like they're the problem. Then I'll put them down until I need to call them again. I've seen these fucking people a million fucking times. They don't want to actually deal with you outside one-on-one, face-to-face. So I said, I'll decide how much room is efficient for me. And this isn't it. Can you back up, please? That's what I said. It wasn't super harsh. It was very direct. But I added the word please there, right? Because I'm trying to be a grown-up. I don't want this to escalate for the most part. I wouldn't mind if it did, but I'm trying to be a mature adult here. Right? Because there's maturity, and then there's somebody just literally flat out not showing you respect. And that is uncalled for, and that is unacceptable. It is for me, and it should be for you. If somebody isn't giving you enough room when you're making a business transaction, that is the ultimate sign of disrespect, and that needs to be dealt with promptly, ASAP. So now he's looking at me after I said this twice now. And now he says, you're really gonna hold up the line because you don't have enough room? And I said, motherfucker, this whole line will not leave this establishment unless I allow it. Understood? So now he knows. Now I'm putting the entire Starbucks on notice. Nobody's leaving now unless you get through me. And now I think he knows. He's staring in my eyes and now he knows there's this different fucking look. Right? There's a look anyway when you're talking to B motherfucking C. But once you get the full throttle amplified, man, you better run as far as you can. So now he sees the look. So now what he does is he throws his veggies down. That's right. Who the fuck goes into Starbucks to pick up vegetables? Bitch boy Braden, that's who. He throws his veggies down, and because he's a bitch boy, he never looks into my eyes. He never tries to escalate the conflict with the amplified man. Instead, he turns to the cashier and says, you just lost a customer. You just lost a customer, he says. So the first thing that came to mind, I mean, he's storming out of the establishment, and I felt like I needed to say something else just because I wanted to get the last word, because I guess that's the fucking kid in me still, right? I still want to get the last word. Didn't even make sense, but now that I think back at it, it was kind of funny. As he's walking away, I said, a bitch isn't a customer. A bitch is a bitch. He kind of turned sideways. He's like, he gave a bitch boy sigh. He storms off. I felt good about that line. A bitch isn't a customer, a bitch is a bitch. And I screamed it, man. I was like amped up. The fucking delts were out. I turned back around and I shit you not, everybody in that line gave me 10 feet. There was nobody in proximity and they wanted nothing to do with the Ant-Man because they realized that there is normal men in this world and then there's people like me, far from a normal man. I'm the amplified man. And I just became amplified because of one dipshit named Bitch Boy Braden. And now the whole establishment now knew a lesson was learned. I am the ultimate professor because I just teached everybody, taught. I teach them and I taught them. Whatever fuck I wanted to do with them, they now know. Going forward, that they have to implement the 3 feet rule or they might come across somebody like the amplified man. So I made the world a better place today. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So bitch boy Braden probably walked into some other coffee shop and hovered on somebody else who didn't want to escalate a situation. They didn't want to turn something into a volatile situation. They didn't want altercation. I get it. But that's just going to make bitch boy Braden keep doing it. You got to put people like bitch boy Braden in their place. Something like a business transaction, whether it's as simple as you're paying for a coffee and you're about to slip your credit card in, you turn around and you make sure people have enough you're getting room. Because if not, they're disrespecting you. Being on your ass when you're about to make a business transaction is not going to hurry you up out the door. Give me space, or I'm going to make you give me space, and I assure you, option number 2, you ain't walking out on your own 2 feet, baby. I'll take your neck and I'll snap it until I hear every fucking vertebrae. Every vertebrae piece. Snap, crackle, fucking pop. Music to my ears. It's like the holidays. Jingle bells. Vertebrae snaps. So anyway, that was my morning. Shall we get to a SmackDown review? I'm already amplified. I haven't even gotten to the fucking SmackDown review. Let's talk about this a little bit, huh? That's what you're here for. Not to hear my Starbucks adventures. What the fuck? That's what you're gonna get on this fucking channel. I'm amplified 24/7, baby. I'm not wired like everybody else in this world. When I go someplace, you're gonna get the most authentic me. And that sometimes, if you ain't legit, if you ain't in bounds, if you don't know your fucking role, sometimes that full throttle authenticity, it's going to turn into amplification. Hell hath no fury when that is initiated. Bitch boy Braden, stop being a bitch. Man up! Implement that 3 feet rule. All right, I'll start now. Relax. I just started thinking about the situation even further. You know, you ever do that? You're in a situation and you feel like when you think back on it, you should have done something else, or you should have said something else, you know, like, oh, I should have said that, or I should have done that. All this shit starts replaying in my dome piece. Anyway, moment's over. I teached and taught people lessons. Thank goodness I'm not an English teacher. I teached you all. All right, for real. Let's get into it, man. I'm looped today, man. I'm fucking out there today, baby. Ain't nobody safe now. King Corbin, Ziggler, and Rude. They yap their gums off for literally 10 minutes before bringing out a big dog mascot to make fun of Roman Reigns. And I kid you not, that was the whole first 10 to 15 minutes of this show. So if you missed SmackDown last night, the first 15 minutes, you missed nothing. Corbin was out there with Rude and Ziggler, and they just made fun of Roman Reigns. And then they brought out a big dog mascot, which was just a dude in a mascot outfit. Here's the thing. On one hand, I understand that their hands are tied. What are they really going to do? They have to do a storyline with Corbin and Reigns. They know nobody's interested in it. So they picked the very least creative thing they could have done. Let's make fun of Roman's name. Right? He's a big dog. Who is he, Michael Cole? Big dog. He's a big dog. Right? Michael Cole gets orgasms when he says that. I understand that that's easy. You can just pick on his name, the big dog, and we'll make fun that he's a dog. We'll have chihuahua sounds barking. We'll have a mascot come down. I get it, right? At least they're doing some type of a story intrication with it. Okay. But my issue is this. If you have 762 writers, you're a billion-dollar organization, you've been telling stories for decades. The last decade is questionable, but you know how to do the formula. You just refuse to. That's where you really are going to go with this. You're going to pick the least creative way to go, and that's the road that you're going to take. Let's just have chihuahua sounds. Let's have a mascot come down. That's all you can do creatively for Corbin and Reigns. A feud, and I use that word loosely, that is supposed to extend through TLC. If you guys saw my podcast yesterday, I told you guys, I broke the news that Minneapolis, the Target Center, is actually advertising Corbin versus Reigns for TLC. So this feud, and again, I use it loosely, I have to put in those air quotes, that is supposed to extend another month. So what are we going to get? More chihuahuas? More mascots? Are we going to get an actual fucking police dog come to the ring and fucking chase people around? What are we going to do? Are we just going to play on Roman's big dog name for another month? But I think they know they have nowhere else they can go with this. Because they don't have anyone creative in that company. And at the top, you don't have the old man isn't going to approve anything creatively anyway, so maybe they feel it's pointless. Maybe they feel if we just give him some juvenile shit, like pouncing chihuahuas and a mascot, that Vince will be like, wow, this is great. I like this. He's a human in an outfit of a dog. Oh, man. They're chihuahuas, but they're supposed to be big dogs. I love it. Who knows how the old man thinks, man. Sadly, we're starting to get a good fucking vision of how he thinks, man. It's not good. Anyway, all of this, the first 15 minutes, it just led into a tag match with Rude and Ziggler, which were already in the ring, taking on Shorty G and Alley-Oop. Halfway through this match, Roman Reigns comes to the ring and we hit commercial. When we come back from break, the action is actually fast and furious, I will admit. I mean, even if you wanted to rip this apart creatively, this match, these four dudes put it all out there with the finish of Roman Reigns on the outside delivering drive-bys and spears. And on the inside, legally, Ali hit Ziggler with the 450 for the victory. So the match was actually good. I ain't gonna, you can't really rip that apart. It's just the whole setup to it and the whole first 15 minutes of SmackDown, absolutely a snooze fest. And my also point, if I can just add on with Ali and Shorty G, if you're going to put them as a tag team, obviously they're going to work well together. It's Gable and it's Ali. My problem is why, if you're going to do that anyway, if you're going to throw another person onto Gable for tag team status, then why not just keep him Chad Gable? Why did you have to turn him into Shorty G unnecessarily? BC, he's going to get a rocket singles push now, BC, when he turned into Shorty G, and I had a huge problem with that. That's what a lot of people were telling me, and I said he still shouldn't be Shorty G. That is a farce. That is just comical. People are going to look at him as a joke. He's out there with neon green and blue outfits like he's in Space Jam from 1996. What the fuck are we doing? Why not just call him Chad Gable? But they turned him into Shorty G, made him a joke, and then still stuck him with a tag team partner. This guy can't get away from tag teams. Jason Jordan, Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Roode. There's somebody else too, wasn't there? And now Ali. That's all Vince sees in him anyway. Why did he have to be Shorty G? Just to eventually, I'm telling you, he's going to turn into Ali-oop. I think that was the plan all along. I don't think it's coincidence that he just got his name changed to Mustafa Ali again. They added the Mustafa last night. I think they always had it planned to be a name change. I think it was going to be Ali-oop. And I spoke up. We made enough noise and there was enough criticism. And they were like, all right, let's just name him Mustafa again. Keep wanting to call him Mufasa, like he's a fucking Lion King. So, listen, that's my gripe with this. I'm still not happy with the Shorty G bullshit. I hate the fact that they turned him into a joke with his little outfit and his name. Chad Gable's badass. Shorty G I can't take seriously. That's an issue. And you just threw him Ali as a tag team anyway. That's what we've seen for the past couple of weeks. It looks like that's what we're going to see in the foreseeable future. Up next, Bray Wyatt has a special Firefly Funhouse, and I call it special because Bray Wyatt, while doing some abracadabra type magic shit, he made, finally, the exploding Strawberry Universal Championship. He got rid of it. Abracadabra, all of our fucking tragic fears were once gone. Just for the moment, though. They were once gone for a moment, because then we have a new set of tragic fears. That exploding Strawberry Championship turned into an exploding Blueberry Championship. He got rid of the Universal, the exploding Strawberry Red Championship, and right in front of us is now a Blue Universal Championship. It's an exploding Blueberry now. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's much better than the Red, or at least that's my thought process. How do you guys feel on it? I haven't even engaged anybody. I haven't asked anybody about this, not even social media, so I don't know how you guys feel about the blue belt. Do you feel it's just as bad as the red, or at least better? I feel it's better. It's still an exploding fruit. But it's a blueberry now. I mean, that strawberry was just not appealing at all. There are times in photos I'd have to just, make sure the title was out of my vision because it was just piercing. The blue one, kind of decent, man. I can accept that. So Bray Wyatt helps all of us and once and for all gets rid of that exploding Strawberry Championship. And now we have a new championship. It is now blue for the blue brand. Makes total sense. And that was the Firefly Funhouse. It would not be the last time we saw Bray, though. Up next, Braun Strowman comes to the ring where Drew Gulak and the B-Team are waiting for him. Drew talks some trash, and Braun destroys everyone. I have zero idea what this was about or for. It wasn't even a match. I have no idea why the B-Team and Gulak were in the ring, and why Braun would come down to the ring if this was not supposed to be a match. Or was it supposed to be a match, Braun annihilated everyone, and the ref was just like, okay, no more match. It doesn't make sense. What was that about? Looks like they're on the school playground and these three kids were trying to bully big old Braun and Braun wasn't having it. And he threw his recess temper tantrum. Up next to end hour number 1 and take us into hour number 2 is the New Day taking on the Revival. This is a tag team championship rematch. New Day the champions, Revival former champions. This was an okay match, nothing special until the end when Undisputed Era showed up. And they took out Kofi for the New Day victory via DQ. After they made light work of Kofi, Undisputed Era then took everyone else out, including the Revival. This brought out everybody, or at least a shitload of people from the SmackDown locker room, and Undisputed Era had to retreat through the crowd. Listen, I like the Undisputed Era mixing it up. I don't like them running away consistently. We just saw them do it last week. We saw it again last night. And I understand and I like the fact that SmackDown is standing up for their brand. If somebody's coming into your fucking house, you're stepping the fuck up and showing them the exit. Well, actually, somebody steps into your house. They ain't gonna see the exit. They're done immediately. So I like what SmackDown did. You're at our fucking house. You ain't going anywhere. Undisputed Era is a bunch of small dudes, though, so they got some fucking quickness to them. They bolted. So I like what SmackDown did. We're going to stand up for ourselves, but I don't know if I would have put them in that position, Undisputed Era, because I don't want to see the Era necessarily running away. You know? It's like a couple of weeks ago when we all loved that SmackDown because most of the roster was on the airplane. Well, shit, by default, that was actually the right way to go, even though it was under those circumstances. I would have honestly left Undisputed Era to do their business. I would have people being attacked backstage so there's nobody to come to the ring. Right? We saw shit like that on that SmackDown as well, so it made sense. The people that were in the locker room got jumped in the back, and then Undisputed Era was able to take care of their business. But it just looks like their plan was to, like, attack for, like, 30 seconds, and then when everyone comes down, run away. That's what you came all the way to SmackDown for? It makes you look stupid. I don't know, man. The creative dome piece that I have on my shoulders, man, it just works differently. Like, I always have these awesome, uber creative ideas, and when WWE puts the least amount of creativity into it, I'm just kind of cringing. I'm like, come on, man, we could have done better. Let's move on. Let me get a swig of coffee, please. I think I've earned it, right? Let me get a swig of coffee, we'll continue. All right, up next, Heavy Machinery defeated Kip and Stevens, two jobbers from the local Walmart Championship Wrestling. Graves and Cole can't even take this seriously. You could tell they just want to laugh at every move, so it just becomes even more of a joke. I love jobber matches, but in order to make it work, you can't, as commentators, just joke the whole way through because the audience is looking at this as not serious. A jobber match can be taken serious. If you want to pump up Heavy Machinery and just showcase them to the world, make them do a few moves, and in 2 minutes defeat these Walmart Championship Wrestling wrestlers, then that's cool. But if you joke the whole way through it, man, you're not doing it justice. You're not doing the superstars justice. And that's what I didn't like about this. Heavy Machinery obviously defeats Kip and Stevens. Back to Walmart Championship Wrestling they go. The new WCW. Nikki Cross versus Bayley is up next. Only 2 minutes into this thing, and the NXT women, Tegan, Mia, Dakota Kai, and Rhea show up, and within 30 seconds, they're brawling with the SmackDown team. Sasha Banks then initiates, no, she can though. Sasha Banks initiates a 4-on-4 matchup. Dana Brooke, Carmella, Sasha, and Nikki versus Mia, Tegan, Rhea, and Dakota Kai. I was just enjoying this. Was this great? No. Was this messy? Hell yeah. But, I mean, I've got Sasha Banks and Dakota Kai in the same ring. So, again, I was just enjoying this. Those are my gals. You guys know that. I love Dakota Kai and, of course, Sasha Banks. But the finish saw Nikki Cross defeat Dakota Kai. And I was like, no, why Dakota? Now, I know she's not in that match Survivor Series weekend. She was the odd woman out, and they decided not to pick her. But I wouldn't have had her eat that pin, man. I would have done something else. You can't make the NXT women show up and just lose a match. That's, the one time WWE needs to use schmozzery at their finish is the one time they don't. Whenever we want a decisive victor, they do some type of schmozzery bullshit. You can't win with this shit. Again, maybe that's some bias, though, because I love Dakota Kai. But still, I don't want to see any of these females from NXT taking a loss on SmackDown. What is that telling the world? Oh, that's the NXT. Wow, they got beat pretty fucking quick. But for the most part, I like all the interaction with that, man. I just, you have today's female talent, badass for the most part. And then you have, the up-and-coming female talent that's coming in we know is badass. I mean, this class of NXT females, this is a badass class, man. This reminds me of the original 4 horsewomen of the WWE NXT brand. Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, and Bayley. This reminds me of that class. When you're looking at females like Shayna Baszler and Io Shirai, you could even throw in Candice LeRae and Bianca Belair. You got Rhea, even Tiga, and my girl Dakota. I mean, I just love this class, I don't want to see any of them losing, but it is what it is, man. I don't run the company. Unfortunately, we'd be at a fucking 12.0 right now in the ratings if I was running it. Can you imagine? That'd be awesome. Up next was the main event, which wasn't actually a match. It was Daniel Bryan on Miz TV. Bray appears on the Tron with a new Firefly Funhouse, second of the night. And it's a great back and forth, leading to Bray asking D-Bry if he wanted to play with him in his new toy, meaning his new championship, the Exploding Blueberry Championship. D-Bry says he has no interest in coming to the Funhouse to play with his puppets, but he wanted a title match instead. Wyatt screams out, yes, 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 74 times. I counted. I'm playing, I did. People are going to go back and count it now. Miz makes the official announcement that it'll be at Survivor Series. I don't recall Daniel Bryan saying Survivor Series, did he? Or maybe he did. If he didn't, Miz should never have said Survivor Series. If Daniel Bryan did, then okay. But still, I mean, who is Miz to make that match? I mean, don't you still have to run it by an authoritative figure? Or if that's the case, anybody can just be challenging people. Again, it just doesn't make sense. But Miz makes the announcement that it's official. D-Bry has this confused look on his face, and SmackDown goes off the air. Cool, I like the segment. I don't know if that should have been on last. I'm being nice and generous right now. That should not have been on last. That's the best you got? Miz makes an announcement, Daniel Bryan's confused, and that's your 2-hour SmackDown on Fox. If that was SmackDown on USA Network, cable, I'd be like, no, I need more. But it's on Fox. I need a hell of a lot more than just that. So, I like that. That's more of the middle of SmackDown, even the beginning of SmackDown. I would have taken that over the Baron Corbin, Bobby Roode, and Dolph Ziggler 10 to 15 minute running of the mouth segment. And the mascot coming down to the ring to emulate a big dog. I would have done away with that and put that at the beginning. And then, if I had a real billion-dollar company that was worth watching, I would have had something epic in the main event. But they don't. So this company is putting a fucking Miz TV as the main event. On Monday Night Raw, they have consistently the Lana, Rusev, and Bobby Lashley storyline in the main event. And that shows you, that is just a glimpse into the world that is WWE. That is just a glimpse of how bad this company really is in the state that they're in, that these are their big storylines. Fucking treacherous. That's it. I'm gonna let you guys oh yeah. I'm gonna let you guys rock out the rest of your weekend, man. And do it, I just have one favor to ask. Do it amplified style. All right, you represent, man. Be mature always. Don't always try to escalate feuds or escalate situations. Don't just argue just to argue. But if you truly feel disrespectful, stand up for yourself, man. I need my unit to do that, especially if you're going to be rocking the merch, baby. If you're going to be rocking the t-shirts and the hoodies and all the merch, man. And I see you out and about in an AMP unit merch and you're sporting that. And you're not standing up for yourself, man, I'm gonna have to pull you aside and we're gonna have to have an amplified unit meeting. Because I need my amplified unit rock solid, ready to rock out at all times, fully amplified. You have to always think, be, live, amplified. You have to always. It is a way of life. It's not just a cute little catchphrase. Live that shit, guys. Live it. The Amplified Man. Till next week. Yow! Check you later.
Yes, hi, this is Braden, that's B.R. Aiden, and I need a couple of police officers at the 19th and Broadway Starbucks. There's a lunatic in there that just viciously yelled at me to the point where I felt so uncomfortable, I threw down my breakfast vegetables, and I walked out. That's how uncomfortable I actually felt. This guy's a lunatic, and I don't know who he's going to go nuts on next in this city, and I think somebody needs to do something. This is insane. I should have gotten my vegetables and already have digested them by now. I don't know what he looks like. He had a hoodie that said amplified, and he surely was getting amplified. It was insane. He has a beard, longer hair. He looks like that wrestler, what's his name? Macho Man. Remember Randy Savage from the WWF wrestling? Yeah, he looks like, and he's wild like him too. I mean, I was looking in his eyes and I saw a madman. Somebody has to, yes, I understand that, but this needs to stop. I have to go somewhere else to get these vegetables now. And he was yelling at me to the point where I felt so alone. Nobody was standing up. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. 19th and Broadway, Starbucks. My name is Braden. That's B-R Aiden. Okay, bye.